Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Really glad you could join me today out here in the vegetable garden. It's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. Sun is shining and it's a nice low humidity day. Well, today is June 19th and it's harvest time for my cauliflower plants. So thanks for joining me today. So I have my garden journal here, and it's something I always encourage people to keep record. Go out and buy a small calendar book and keep record year by year of when you plant things and what problems you've had in your garden. It's well worth the time and effort to do so. Well, anyhow, it's April 19th is when I planted my cauliflower transplants or seedlings. I ended up buying some market packs from Ray's nursery nearby, and I just don't have enough time on my schedule to start everything by seeding indoors, and so I buy a lot of transplants throughout the season. And so I planted these transplants April 19th, and I also did a video then June 1st of let's go take a peek at these cauliflower plants under the row covers. And back then, June 1st, the heads were just really tiny, but 19 days have passed and it's just amazing the size they've grown. And so now they're ready to pick and harvest. And so follow me along and let's go out and harvest some of these cauliflower plants underneath the row cover. So these cauliflower plants are in my back section of my garden here, underneath that row cover. So let's head over there. I had pulled back the cover. I also planted some red romaine lettuce in here and also some green romaine, and they just did wonderful. They're starting to bolt right now, you can see. But anyhow, I have the cauliflower plants here in the back section, and they have just grown and thrived under these row covers. The looper worm from the white butterfly, they can't get to these plants, and so they're nice and healthy. And if I measure from tip to tip on these plants too, they're like 32 inches, and so you want to make sure you leave plenty of room for these when you grow them. I actually planted these about 24 inches apart, so that seemed to be sufficient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Sierra saw and I'm going to remove one of these plants, and we'll take a closer look at the cauliflower. So I'm here on the corner of my 18-foot by 30-foot raised garden bed here, and I have my measuring tape here. And I was just measuring the leaf of one of these cauliflower plants, and it's from the base to the top, it's 26 inches. It's just amazing. And keep in mind, this is from one teeny tiny little seed this plant developed, and so think of the money you can save by growing your own food, and of course it's a lot of fun and rewarding to have your own garden and grow your own vegetables. And so, yeah, it's just a huge plant. You could also cook up these leaves and eat them, or use them in a smoothie. Certainly they'd be good for your compost pile. But anyhow, these cauliflower plants, the brassica plants, your broccoli, your cabbage, your kale, mustard greens, they all, the white butterfly, they lay an egg under the leaf and they develop into a worm, and they can just devastate your broccoli and your cauliflower and your kale. You get aphids on them. And so underneath these row covers, it's well worth the time and investment in the beginning of the season to install these low tunnel hoop houses, you know, and because again, you know, your garden season is a lot more enjoyable. You know, we try to encourage in not using any type of insecticides in your garden, and you know, organic gardening. And so anyhow, we're looking forward to having this head of cauliflower. You know, we like steaming our cauliflower, and you know, especially since my wife and I now, you know, we follow a plant-based lifestyle, you know, and personally I've experienced amazing results in my health, you know, getting away from the meats and the dairies and the cheeses and the oils, you know, all those foods that bring harm and injury to our body. You know, it's the food that causes most of our chronic degenerative diseases. And so once I discovered that, you know, I tell people that's the world's best kept secret, you know, that you can regain and restore your health just by getting away from those foods that cause injury, you know. And then then switch over to plants. You know, that's where I get my protein, my calcium, my vitamins and minerals. Yes, plants have protein in them. And so and since I've adopted this lifestyle, you know, my garden has taken on a whole new meaning, because that's my fuel source for healthy living. So anyhow, yeah, we just love our cauliflower, so we're looking forward to having some of this tonight for dinner. So anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today out here in the garden harvesting our cauliflower plants. And so let me encourage you to think about growing some cauliflower in your garden. It's something really easy to do, and again, encouraging you to grow these under row covers because they just thrive under these plants. And so, you know, if you have any questions or comments about this video, feel free to leave them in the section below. And also, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so you could receive future videos. And you could also visit our website at plantsmartliving.com. So anyhow, I hope you have a wonderful day. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.